So hi everybody, welcome to this SUPboarder video of the Aztron range. We're going to be having an overview of the range and picking out some of the standout products that you might be interested in. They've got a large range of inflatable and composite boards in 2020 and they are all at very competitive prices. We've already reviewed this board here, the Aztron Nova, which is their small, foldable, easy transportable iSUP this year. So remember to check out that video for more information about the Nova. So now let's have a look at their inflatable range of boards. They have got a large range of boards this year. They are going to suit lots of different abilities, different weights. Aztron make their boards out of 3 different constructions, but only certain boards are available in certain constructions, which we'll speak about in a minute. The top end construction is the ultralight drop stitch tech. Now this is with their new woven base, which is lighter and stronger than their previous bases. And internally you've got your drop stitch core, but it's an X pattern. It's not the standard up and down, it's an X stitching drop stitch, and all those boards are finished off with a double layer. Moving down from that, you've got the double layer fusion tech. Now this is on a majority of the more specialist boards. It's finished off with a more traditional drop stitch internal core. It's super tough because it's a double layer fusion technology, and it's got PVC rail bands. And then you've got the premium drop stitch tech. Now this is on all of the all-round boards. Same internal core as the double layer fusion tech and still got PVC rail bands. The main difference between this technology is this is a single layer board around most of the board, but there is a double secondary layer of PVC up around the deck pad and towards the front of the board. So for instance, if you're going to be putting a dog or having dry bags up at the front there, stuff we need a bit more protection, there is an extra layer of PVC up there. And of course, all these boards from Aztron are double chamber boards, so they have an internal core that you have to inflate separately. That can basically give you 2 things. It makes the board a bit safer because there's 2 chambers, so if you do get a leak in one chamber, the other chamber is going to be okay. But the biggest thing a double chamber board does is that when you inflate the board, you don't actually have to put as much pressure in the board overall as you would do a single chamber board. So a single chamber board pumped up to 20 psi could be as stiff as these boards only pumped up to 15 psi in their double chamber. Therefore, you spend less time pumping and more time paddling. So on from that, let's have a look at the all-round range of boards. Starting off with this here, the Nova. This is their new foldable board, easy to transport, super small, and it is finished off in a single layer technology. It's not quite like the other all-round boards, as in it's not got a double layer in front of the deck pad. It's single layer throughout. It does give you a nice lightweight board. We've tested it. As I said, check out that video for more information. Very easy to paddle. I really like the fin setup, and it's a very cheap price point of £350, euros or dollars. It's 10 foot by 32 inches wide and 6 inches thick, so it is going to offer a large amount of volume, a good amount of stability for most people, and it is going to get a lot of people into supping for the first time. Moving up from there, you've got the Lunar, Mercury and Titan. Similar sort of characteristics as the Nova, except remember it's the double layer PVC up forward and front of the deck pad and forward. So if you want to put your dog or carry extra bags on the front, just gives you a bit more protection. Those boards are all 32 inches wide again and 6 inches thick, so going to offer you that good stable platform for most people wanting to get into the sport. The Lunar at 9'9", the Mercury at 10'10", and the Titan at 11'11" are going to offer different size boards for different sort of people. Really, if you're looking to paddle a little bit further on flat water, you should be looking at the longer base board. If you really want to get maybe into a bit more surf or just a bit more playing around with the kids, look at the shorter base boards. That's a basic way to look at this. If you want more information about these boards, we did review them in 2019. The basic shape of them is the same, but they have refined the rock lines. Check out that video for more information on the basic shape and for which boards will probably suit you best. Then in the range, we've got the Venus, which is still an all-round base shape, 10.8 by 34. It's a little bit wider, so it's going to give you that bit more stability. It's going to be great for the heavier paddler and great for obviously yoga, which is sort of where they're pushing it at, the more fitness section. They've kept the deck pad nice and open, kept the handle away from the middle, so if you're doing yoga or fitness moves, it's giving you a nice big area to work on. It's still 6 inches thick, so it's got a large amount of volume, it's going to take a large amount of weight, and it still sits at a very competitive price point at £449, dollars or euros. We personally think that board is one of the standout boards from Aztron. I really like the deck pad finish, and actually the graphics are a little bit subtler than the other boards in the range, but it does look very good value. And remember, the Venus is made differently to the materials of the all-round range of boards. It's a double layer, so it's got 2 layers of PVC wrapping right around the whole of the board, which makes it a little bit heavier, but it does make it stronger overall. Then we've got the touring range of boards, which is another range we tested in 2019, except in 2020 they have refined the rocker line, which is what we said was one of the downsides in the last year's video. So they made the board a little bit flatter overall. So the 10.6 Terra, the 11.6 Urano and the 12.6 Neptune have all got much flatter rocker lines this year, which means they're going to be faster to paddle overall. They're all 32 inches wide and 6 inches thick, so very much like the all-round range of boards. A large volume there. It's going to suit a wide range of weights, and remember, the longer the board, the easier it is to paddle in a straight line, the more glide you can have. So if you're looking towards paddling further, look towards the longer boards. Looking towards having more of a touring shape but not actually paddling as far, and you want to sort of keep it a bit more like an all-round base board, maybe even catch some waves with it, look towards the smaller 10.6 board. So now let's move on to the multi-purpose boards. So these are boards that you can do it all with. There's two boards, there's the Solaire and the Solaire Extreme. They are basically boards that have central US fin boxes. So you can add a fin and you can go windsurfing with these boards as well. Because they've also got a screw thread, you can screw in your universal joint at the front of the board. So you can paddleboard these boards, you can play with a family with these boards, you can learn to windsurf with these boards. So you can do everything with them. They are double layer, double chamber boards like the other touring boards, and they retail at £549 for the smaller 11 foot and £599 for the larger 12 foot. They both have the good width of 32 inches wide, just like the all-round boards and the touring boards, so they're going to get a lot of people on the water, and they are going to suit a lot of people wanting that multi-purpose thing. If you've come from windsurfing or you're thinking about learning to windsurf, then those boards will be a good board to look at. If you're not using them as windsurf boards and you just want to use them as a SUP, they might slow you down a little bit with that US fin box up in the middle there, but overall it isn't really going to make a massive difference to when you're paddling. So if you're looking for something a bit more multi-purpose, you want to get loads of water sports out of one piece of equipment, definitely have a look at the multi-purpose boards from Aztron. Now let's look at the smallest board that Aztron have got this year, and it's a brand new board for 2020, and we're really happy to see it in here. It's the Orion, which is the Surf SUP, or you could use it as a kid's SUP as well. It's 8.6 by 29 wide, and it's only 4.75 inches thick, which is a really good thickness. Really like the rocker line of this board. It's got a nice nose kick, nice curve at the bit, and a small amount of tail kick, and the fin setup looks really good too. We haven't surfed with this board, but it does look like it could surf quite well, and sitting at that good price point of £449 dollars or euros. It's got the characteristics and definitely a good rocker line of an iSUP surfing board. So if you're looking towards getting an iSUP board this year to get into surf, definitely the Orion from Aztron is one of the boards that should be on your list. Now let's move on to the inflatable race boards. 12.6, 14 foot. Both these boards are different from all the others because they have a different technology. These are the ones that use the ultra lightweight double layer technology. Woven material, remember, underneath, and they've got the sort of X-woven drop stitch, not standard as it's got in all the other ones. So these are a lighter, stiffer base board. Maybe in the future Aztron might be moving this technology into all of their range, but at the moment they've kept it for the top end race boards. So like all the Aztron range, they still sit at a competitive price, £599 dollars or euros for both of the boards. The 12.6 is 27 wide and the 14 foot is 28 wide. So it is likely you're going to be seeing those boards at the races for sure, and definitely for the beginners and intermediates, they're a very good price point that are going to get you into racing. Then lastly, the boards we're not going to look at so much, but definitely worth a mention. You've got your river board and you've got your multi-person board. The 16-foot 10 Galaxy is a board that needs a little bit of a mention because of the price point at £799 dollars euros. That is a big board for not very much money, and you're going to get the whole family, a club, a group of friends cruising down the river, and that sort of board that is going to bring a lot of you together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're looking towards a big multi-person board, that sort of board is going to be hard to beat, and especially for price point. All of the Aztron boards come with very good quality leashes. I'd say some of the best leashes in the business, and nice double pumps which pump on the upstroke and on the downstroke, which means you get a lot of air in your board quickly. The bags are more lightweight than other boards on the market, but they are well made and they're going to fit your board in nice and easy. So they're not going to be as comfortable for carrying long distances as the more expensive brands, but they do the job absolutely adequately. The fittings and features of the boards are all good quality. Handles are nicely padded, bungees are nice and thick. The fin setup that's on the Nova is, as I said before, an outstanding fin setup, unique to Aztron. Really like the fin setup, and the other fins you get are all US box fins, which are nice because then you can upgrade your fin. You can buy a better fin from a surf shop, you can put it in there, giving you a bit more flexibility, and especially that's really important for the racers out there. So now let's move away from the inflatable range of boards from Aztron and have a look at the composite range of boards. Now, you don't usually get brands of this size doing inflatable and composite at the sort of price points that Aztron are doing, and Aztron are putting as much work into their composite range as they are doing their inflatable range, which is great to see, because inflatable boards are great, but also composite boards are great boards for getting people to progress a little bit further, top end racing, way better at surfing. And if you're all round paddling and you don't need to put your board in the back of the car or keep it in the garden shed, a composite board might be the better board to look at, and it will give you a better top end performance. So they've got their surf SUPs, their all round SUPs, touring SUPs and race SUPs. We got to look at their surf SUP board, the Apus, the all round board, the Dupit, and the race board, the Lightspeed. And they've also got a few touring shapes in there which we didn't get to see. So first off, looking at the Apus, which is their surf shape at 9'4" long by 32 inches wide, it's going to offer somebody definitely a good first time shape to get into SUP surfing for a large range of weights. But having said that about getting into SUP surfing, the actual rails on that board, the shape of the board, they do look really good, and it's a full carbon board as well. So the one we weighed when we had it in test only weighed 8.8 kilograms, so it's a really lightweight board, and that retails at £999 dollars or euros. So it's a cheap price point, full carbon surf SUP that's going to get you into surfing for maybe the first time, or offer maybe the more experienced mid-heavyweight riders a really good all-round base surf SUP. The build quality and the finish of the board, the fin setup that it came with, did look very good. Really happy at the price point. Again, if you're looking at getting a bigger board to get into SUP surfing, or maybe you're a more experienced surfer that wants a cheaper price point, bigger board, those boards are going to be worth a look at. So we also had the bigger all-round board, the Dupit, 10.8 by 32.5. This is your all-round base SUP. Now this is a board that's going to be happy going surfing, happy cruising along the river, happy teaching your friends to paddleboard, but it's definitely going to give you way more performance than it is the inflatable boards, because it's that composite shape. It's got the nice rail shape, it's got the better rocker line. That's what you're going to be paying for. That's what you're going to be going for, a composite board over a inflatable board. Talking about the price point though, it's not more expensive than the Apus, is cheaper. It retails at £799 dollars or euros. So you're looking at a very good price point board, bamboo finish, looks really nice. You know, it's a good price point, and it is going to offer those more people that can store their boards easier. Maybe you've got a roof rack. Definitely look towards that sort of board, I would say, more than your inflatable board, looking for that bit more performance when you go paddleboarding. So now let's jump to the biggest board, the Lightspeed, 14 by 24.5. This is going to be a composite race board that people are going to be interested to get into racing, and maybe even some of the more experienced racers as well. The price point, £1,299 dollars or euros. That is a very cheap price point board, especially because you realize that's a full carbon race board as well. It's a shame we didn't have that one so we could put into our SUPboarder Pro test at the time, because that would have been interesting to see how that compared to boards twice the price on the market. So definitely the Lightspeed. It's got the cheap price point, but don't just judge it by its price point. It comes with a nice fin, the board's finished off well, the bottom shape, the rocker line looks really well thought out. As I said, we haven't fully tested that board, but if you want to get into racing, composite board, you want something that's a good value, then the Lightspeed. And lastly, let's have a quick look at the paddles they make. They make a standard 3-piece aluminium, which to be fair, you do get with most board brands, but also they make carbon aluminium blades, they make full carbon shafts and blades, and their price points vary from 35 all the way up to £149 dollars or euros. So you're getting a lot of paddles in those price points. Definitely, I think if you can try and upgrade yourself onto a full glass or a full carbon paddle away from the aluminium paddles. Just for the price point, for the extra £20, 30, 60 euros, you're getting a lot more paddle for your money. Definitely worth the upgrade. So before you buy your board, talk to your retailer, talk to the people online, try and get yourself a better base paddle. You'll be well thankful you do. The fittings on the paddles were secure and locked down, even on the cheaper ones when we use them. The blade shape might not be as refined as a €400 race paddle, but as you probably guess what I'm going to say, the price point you're paying for these paddles, you do get a lot of paddle for your money. So now we've seen and given you a bit of an idea of the Aztron range for 2020, it's clear to us that they really are trying to push all of their gear into that next level. The development on the materials just keeps going, the composite boards look better, the price points are still very competitive, and the accessories are all getting better year on year. It's going to be interesting to see where they go in 2021. There's a large range of iSUPs and composite boards to suit a lot of different people, so have a look on the website, grab one of their funky catalogues, and if you have any questions for us, let us know and we'll get back to you. Hope you found that video interesting. If you haven't already, give our YouTube channel a subscribe and this video a like. Check out SUPboardermag.com, and of course, if you're mad keen on SUP, check out SUPboarder Pro 2, where there's loads more technique and review videos you don't see on YouTube. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time on SUPboarder.